这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
A doornail once meant the end of a life, and people never forgot it. In old towns of England, long before cars and street lights, doors were heavy and thick. They were made from strong oak, cut from deep forests. A house stood or fell by its door. If the door broke, cold wind, wild dogs, or even thieves could come in. So builders worked hard to make each door firm and safe. They used iron nails that were big and rough. These were not the small shiny nails we buy in stores now. Each nail was made by hand. A blacksmith heated iron in bright orange fire, then hit it again and again with a hammer. Sparks jumped in the darkroom. The iron bent and stretched. At last it turned into a long nail with a wide flat head. When a nail was pushed through the thick wood of a door, it did not stop there. The sharp end came out on the other side. That end was then hit flat against the wood. This act was called clenching. The point was bent and smashed down so it could never be pulled back. Once clenched, that nail could not move. It was done. It had no more life as a loose piece of iron. It became part of the door forever. People began to look at those nails and speak in a simple way. A nail that had been clenched was finished. It would never come out whole again. It would never be used for anything else. It was, in their plain speech, dead. Doors in that time were not smooth. They were covered with rows of these hard iron heads. Some doors had patterns made from nails. In the sun they looked like dark coins pressed into wood. In war times, such nails even helped stop swords and axes. A door full of iron nails could save a family. Yet once the nail was bent flat, it had no future. You could not heat it again without breaking the wood around it. You could not pull it free without tearing the door apart. That nail was as dead as it could be. People loved strong images. Farm life, tools, animals, and simple work shaped the way they spoke. When a cow died in the field, that was sad but clear. When a fire burned out to cold ash, that was plain to see. A doornail was even more final. It did not just stop moving. It was crushed into place. By the 1300s, writers were already using the phrase. Old poems spoke of knights who lay dead as a doornail on the ground after battle. The words carried weight because every listener knew what a doornail was. They had touched one. They had heard the ring of hammer on iron. The phrase traveled through time. In busy London streets, people used it in taverns and markets. A shopkeeper might say a broken clock was dead as a doornail. A mother might say a chicken that stopped laying eggs was dead as a doornail, even if it still walked around. The meaning grew wider. It came to mean not only true death, but also something that would never work again. Centuries later, a famous writer named Charles Dickens picked up the phrase. In his winter tale about a cold old man who learns to care for others, the book opens with a bold line about a man who was dead as a doornail. Dickens even paused to joke about it. He asked why a doornail should be called the deadest piece of iron in the shop. He knew the phrase was old. He knew readers had heard it all their lives. Still, he used it because nothing else sounded as strong. That line has echoed for over 100 years. School children read it. Actors speak it on stage. Each time, the image returns, a bent iron nail, smashed flat, never to rise again. There is a darker side to the story. In times when plague swept through towns, doors were marked to show sickness inside. Some doors were nailed shut to keep people from leaving. A nailed door could mean fear, loss, and quiet rooms. The nails in those doors were not just tools. They were signs that life had stopped within. When people said dead as a doornail, they felt that heavy silence. Still, the phrase did not stay only in sad places. Sailors used it when a storm snapped a mast in two. Farmers used it when frost killed a crop. Kids used it when a toy stopped working after a hard fall. The words were simple enough for all. Language keeps the marks of work and pain. Few of us have made a nail by hand. Few of us have clenched one into oak. Yet we still carry that old picture in our mouths. We say the words without thinking of fire, hammer, and sweat. The past hides inside daily speech. Think about how strong that image must have been to last so long. Many sayings fade away. Tools change. Doors are now light and smooth. Nails come in boxes, all the same size. We push them in with fast guns. We do not bend the end over by hand. The life of a doornail is no longer part of daily life. Even so, the phrase lives on. It shows how people once saw the world. They did not need big words. They looked at what was in front of them. A nail that was bent flat was finished. No hope of pulling it back. No second use. It was done beyond doubt. There is a small lesson in that old iron nail. Some things in life truly end. A broken phone that will not turn on again. A friendship that has gone cold after harsh words. A chance that passed because we were too afraid to act. We may joke and say it is dead as a doornail. Under the humor, there is truth. Not everything can be fixed. Yet here's the twist. The nail may be dead as a nail, but the door it holds can stand for 100 years. The nail gives up its own future to make something else strong. It becomes part of a home. It helps guard laughter, tears, births, and long winter nights by the fire. That old phrase carries both loss and strength. It speaks of an end, yet it also hints at what remains. The nail cannot move, but the house still stands. The story does not stop with the nail. When you say dead as a doornail, you are touching a line that runs back through blacksmith shops, cold stone streets, and wooden doors scarred by time. You are speaking in the same rough music as farmers, sailors, and writers from long ago. Words survive because they fit human life. We all know what it means for something to be truly over. We have all felt that sharp drop in the chest when hope slips away. The phrase gives that feeling a shape made of iron and wood. Next time something in your life feels finished beyond repair, picture that bent nail. It cannot be straightened without breaking the door. Some endings are like that. But also remember the door it holds firm. Even when one small piece is done, the larger story may still be standing strong. The nail is dead. The house lives on. And so do you.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。